Oh, y'all, we come to life with so much drama in the HMG. It's kind of hard being BINH, but we somehow, some way keep coming up with real big truth like every single day, infidels, right here on the Conspiracy Horsemen, the free show, because believe me, ain't nobody earning a dime off of third-party platforms around here. So let's all talk that real talk. In fact, I might take the night off and just uncork some whiskey and ride on out. Yo, man, oh man, I needed this now. Let the ribs come, because I'm glad to be back in the locker room with the guys I love the most, man. Right here on the Conspiracy Horsemen. Ben Hameen channel, 12,600 subscribers, woke up to being demonetized for no reason this morning.
Woo!
Welcome to the media war.
Welcome to my career.
Big Sally, I'm looking to you tonight, man. There's nobody makes me laugh more than you, pal. How you doing, bud?
Oh, I'm doing, man. It's good. It's been a day, and keep going.
Jesus.
When?
It's on.
I'm gonna be drinking my tea.
It is on. Speaking of THC, Cuomo's trying to dig himself out of a hole. GGP, Did you see that? Weed possibly legalized. They're trying to push it right through after the third time. It just got sent around in my local thing there. So a lot of farmers are like, what? Switch from corn to what? So it's interesting right now, man. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right, man. Doing all right. Busy day. Hectic day as usual. Did NFL last night, had a good show. And I'm happy to be here with you guys today.
Who's more over last night?
A lot of people. It was, you know what? Honestly.
Well, just who was up against each other. I always like those just to like
the Amy Sedaris character, Polymoto.
Oh, yeah.
Versus Mas Kanata.
I got to go Amy Sedaris all day on that one. She was cool to me both times I met her, so I'm a mark for her. And I thought she did a good job in there because you could kind of lose. Like, she's one of those people like, I know what she is, but I know it's Amy Sedaris, but it's not, So whatever.
Agreed. Even though I went with Mas Kanata, it was only by an eyelash.
Yeah, the other chick doesn't suck or anything like that.
I know.
I'm the other way. I like it. Right when Baby Yoda needed a mother, she was kind of like there to be that figure when you knew it was needed. So
last night I said on the podcast, I said you order Ripley from Aliens from Amazon, you get Sigourney Weaver. You order Ripley from Amazon from Wish, you get Amy Sedaris.
Oh, she was a great callback character too. Like she was a problem-solving character.
Yeah.
How are we going to do this without? Oh, give it to. Okay, great, and it made sense. You didn't. You weren't like, what is this? Doesn't make any sense. That's completely made sense.
That's a nice out as a director to have that card to play. But I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I had hair like this guy because he's a baller. Flossing. It's Stevie Richards, the Snyder Cut of House Hunters. We're looking forward to our next pilot getting shot down. How's it going, pal?
I would love to see the Snyder Cut of the current government as well. That would be an excellent choice. It's $6, 32 degrees cool. Look at do you do it like this or?
It's nice, yeah. I got the Conspiracy Horseman shirt, and sorry to interrupt, but just got an email from Ryan Barkin. Flash sale going on tonight at ProWrestlingTees.com. Didn't even have time to get the graphic out, you guys.
Did the riders finally get to the building? Or
they might have coupon code is Dynamite. So, you can save 20%, I believe, from all of our Pro Wrestling Tees stores. Stevie Richards, Greek God popping on SEG shirts, and Ben Hameen. You guys appreciate that. Tonight, flash sale, save 20% at ProWrestlingTees.com.
I'd like to say in Randy Orton fashion, I think too many people are sleeping on the Breaking Sal shirt on SEG shirts on Pro Wrestling Tees. Yep. I think it's not your standard. It's not your standard black shirt with a regular, just logo or whatever. I believe,
and there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with those shirts. But I want to thank Randy Orton for saying so.
Yeah, it's not like it's got a rectangular box with just 3 letters, 2 lowercase, 1 in the middle. It's uppercase. That's a little played out right now.
Hey,
why? You took it from my fucking group. They took it from the other fucking group.
And I just put it up on Larry Hankins because he was actually on the show on his Patreon. And so that popped me already.
Also, last night, I'm sorry, Ben. Also, last night,
yeah, buddy,
we had a guest on the show. Dominic Pace came on again. He played Gecko, the bounty hunter on The Mandalorian season 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we had a good time.
Cool, man. That's great. I mean, I'm glad getting incredible guests on all of our shows. And I got to give a shout out to El Plaza because next week, hopefully everything goes well. 331, right before the first of the month, right before here on the Conspiracy Horsemen, Crazy Bone, hip hop legend from Bone Thugs and Harmony, man. El Plaza hooked us up with Lord Jamar. Lord Jamar, and let's see. And now Crazy Bone, man. It's just unbelievable. Hopefully we can jump on this Vlad TV hip hop kids. That we are, a lot of us. Stevie. We'll try and get some 80s balladeers too. Why not?
Oh, Debbie Gibson doesn't believe the towers came down from planes. I mean, she's into that, and I'll have to get in touch with her. Yeah. REO Speedwagons believes there's reptilians running the government, so we'll get it. We'll get a nice crossover. I want to bring this up because I think, Ben, you won't bring it up. I know what HMG was founded on, but with the monetization of the YouTube channel and the really good potential that the channel is going to be completely deleted or shut down in some form or fashion. And people in the chat room are saying that it sucks they can't donate. And they've been really donating super chats consistently over the past few weeks.
Yes.
I'm just bringing it up as a little kind of like maybe a meeting between us that the people can kind of witness right here or listen to. I really do believe there's a formula where we can still offer free, but really offer exclusive stuff like the Lord Jamar stuff and other things, maybe on a Patreon model, because it really is the only way to bring value, also in a way for people to get that value throughout the month. And then other projects could even be lumped in within the Patreon if it's under your own, to have Horsemen and other things. I just feel like it sucks because you don't ever want to create a paywall or anything like that. But I feel like with the way people have been donating too with the super chats and in the past with bits, it would almost turn out to be cheaper or more economical to do that for a one-time thing to get the month's worth of value.
I totally agree with that. And it does go not against, but in the ever-changing media war that I find myself in, and I appreciate you bringing it up because I'm not trying to.
Yeah, I just want to follow up with this. It could be anything from interactive to live to call in to Q&A, mailbag, stuff we don't really ever get a chance to do on the main show. And this way, I said it to Sal, it wasn't even a joke. If they want to go fuck off and watch AEW at 8 p.m., they can do it. Yeah, everybody's free to do it, and the people that want
to. Here's the thing, and I understand all that, and I think about that, but here's the bigger argument. We've relied on third-party platforms. We text with John Carnage reached out, and you're close enough with him too, and having conversation. He started Twitch, still not back on Twitch, even though they wanted us on the main page and for wrestling, and then banned for wrestling and banned for free thought. Then go to YouTube. It's only a matter of time where you're flying under the radar. The last month, I had 460 new subscribers, record month for me of new subscriptions. So then that's going to draw more eyes to what we're saying that go against a lot of mainstream narratives. And I wake up today, there's no strike. There's no DCMA violation. The fact that we even have to know what a DCMA violation is fucked up. Like that's part of the normal conversation. And I've heard that Patreon will also walk on their talent based on wanting to avoid any controversy. So yes, that is a possibility in the short term, but to really fight in this long-term war, it's about controlling all your assets on a platform that will not take you down. And how then do you put up I hate the word say put up a paywall. I just hate that. It gives me chills. But keep the free side free for incentivizing and value, and have a subscription-based model for premium content that then, because also Patreon takes 16% at the end of the day. So I want it all, and I want to win. Go ahead, GGP, please.
To the fans out there that listen to this show and love the Conspiracy Horsemen, I got 4 words for you. Fuck you, pay me. That's it.
I love it. We have been putting in that work, and I got to say, shout out not just El Plaza hooking up that guest, but also Jargo jumping in when we needed him. RBV's had a bit of a health scare. I don't know, let him talk about that. But Jargo also redid hackerhameen.podbean.com. The whole front page, every month is archived going back to the very first shows where Sal would be in the car and all that stuff. So a lot of good, fun old times there. And I'm actually going to go back and start just going back and listening to our old stuff, man. But yeah, it's been a rough day of like trying to be a war general on what my next moves are and strategize, but I don't want to make any moves when I'm having anger and emotion. That's the worst thing you can possibly do. The next steps, check this out. I want to get your opinion on this. So wake up to demonetize for no reason other than I go against guidelines. Meanwhile, everything on my channel I own, produced, edited DVD wise was in the match every single bit. It's not like anything's replayed, right? And now I have 14 days to appeal. I get to make a video to submit as an appeal and plead my case, bro.
Do it in gimmick, and this way you could tell them when they ban you they're Islamophobic, and that's why they're not giving you money.
What is the war strategy here? Do you do the I don't know what it is. I just want to be a creator for YouTube and be a babyface, or do you sit down and do the George Carlin First Amendment shoot on him, or do you do satire? What's the most powerful weapon of media?
This is easy, man. So easy. Start it off. You got Ben, the producer, who says, I really do want to make content for YouTube because I feel like it would shut up, infidel, and then get pulled off the screen. Next cut is Ben Hameen showing up and just healing everybody at YouTube about what disgusting racist homophobes they are, and go through the whole 9.
Yeah, I get it too, but is there? I mean, getting my shit in, absolutely, and then we release it everywhere. But to use the power of what we do have in a group mindset. As we go forward with it to put them on trial. Bro. I get it. But even me having to cut a video is them having the power to make me dance, beg, and plead for what is already mine. And now the argument becomes using third-party platforms that are free in a big ocean and being at their mercy, or going and doing the 600-hour build out that will be Hameen.
So why don't we do our own platform? Why don't we just do our own platform? That's it.
That's it. But you're talking about a 600-hour build out, bro, and also finding a platform to host.
Wait. Billy Ray Valentine is Hispanic. The other guy, Big Ray's Hispanic. They work cheap, bro. We'll find him in front of Circuit City instead of Home Depot. They'll put up the webpage and we'll be good to go.
And I know we've got the troops, but it's just been. It's been one of those days, Stevie. You had those days, and I'm just trying to make it through here, man.
Well, just to remind people, because a few people in the chat room were asking, Ben woke up this morning and his YouTube channel was demonetized for violating guidelines. He showed me the screenshots.
Yeah, I can read it.
Didn't have a specific, like even some of my videos, which, by the way, most of my wrestling matches that I'm wrestling the match and get strikes and get demonetized. So, what do I know about matches I'm in? I don't know.
Yeah, like I'm not allowed to review that. I took the bumps and did the overflow.
But it has even though you say it's the wrestling and Twitch, the thing that happened with Twitch, just to remind everybody, was out of everything we've ever spoken about on twitch.tv/Conspiracy Horsemen, your tribute to Brody Lee after he passed away, the most heartfelt kind of, to get everybody there for a memorial, for a tribute to your friend. That was the one, and that was really what put you over the edge with Twitch.
That's what makes you think about. And that's what made him snap, folks, when they finally found him in the alley with the gun. That's why I have to fabe all that shit. It's like, I'm not going to Twitter thumbs it. I do 1 in the morning to let people know what's going on, but I'm not going to just sit there in the cut and cunt off. I'm going to think of a strategy to win long term, and I appreciate you with the push to Patreon, and we may do that because the troops got to get fed in one way or another, So but I feel like they're gonna fucking do the same thing. I can't have faith in any third party is my point.
Well, let me just take maybe we go 2 steps down the line. Maybe there's some way to do the 10-minute preview or pre-show on YouTube to get everybody over to, say, a Rock Fin or another thing or whatever whatever other one we can get to, that, or Subscribe Star is another one, which I don't know if they're still even around, but that's where most of even the people that got kicked off of Patreon go to Subscribe Star. I'm just saying, if YouTube can be utilized to condition people, hey, this is our pre-show, we're talking, and give them a little something there, and then we're going over to where we're going to be, join us there, and it's just the tiers of whatever.
I just want Join Us There to be at Hameen Media Group streaming live, where how we get that done. I have to figure it all out. And today, in my blind rage where I'm practicing Muay Thai teeps and flying knees, was not the time to make that decision.
So you obviously have a Hameen Media Group web page, correct?
I have the URL, and we have just the Podbean we're hooking up to it. But that was going to be the plan build out wise. But there's something bigger on Russo's side that we're waiting on. So I don't want to dedicate all this time to one thing when something else might take form, and we're wasting time to refocus and effort and money. So. The other thing that goes with that, did you guys see the 2 to 3 months from now, the supposed rollout of a Trump social media? What's that going to look like? Do we need to find somebody on their team and get a meeting?
Canada Spaceman just said, wait for Trump's news site to announce.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But you want, should we try and ground floor this? If we're having open meetings here in front of everybody, whatever, with 69 live watching, appreciate everybody.
Somebody suggested like OnlyFans, to do some OnlyFans.
I think stuff. So. I think
Stevie's feet and his arms. We'll do. Wet Stevie hair.
Imagine you get kicked off of OnlyFans for indecent content or something.
Word stuff in my beard. I'll get.
God damn it, OnlyFans! Yeah, he's not showing any fucking leg.
We can go to the local Days Inn on Dirty Couch and take some pictures, talk about women empowerment.
How about this, though? I also saw our brother Crow 777 had about 9 or 10 of his shows pulled last night, too. So not like how I feel better, but I've said this a couple times now, because I'm a Mob fan. That's why I love Sal so much. And, the mob of them getting to do this shit, along with Sammy the Bull Gravano talking about murders every day, like on his podcast, sitting down with guys and plotting to kill this guy's wife and what and they get to release content every other day that's making a shit ton of money, and here we are, dude. What's going on again? We have Crows getting zapped, and I wake up to that today. Something's happening again.
Let's not forget Sammy the Bull had been on how many countless podcasts that haven't been taken down or demonetized, telling the same stories. Go ahead, GGP. Sorry.
No, I was going to say it's because you're conservative. That's why.
Right. Yeah. It's for when he does it, it's just fun. It's just a fun story. It's entertainment, because it's all, you know what? He's probably lying. So it's fun. It's a fun
story. Do you think at the end when you do anything?
A psychopathic murderer on TV. I'm not really one.
But I haven't watched the full interview. Maybe right at the end, he just says, "Oh, and fuck Trump," and they're like, "Oh, okay."
Oh, you're in. You're in, guy.
That's it. Then that's it. Just take a breath, and we'll, cooler heads will prevail. It will come to me through meditation and masturbation and martial arts, and we'll find the way.
That's
not in that order either.
Right there, Doug.
Do you think there should be a time for @Team YouTube for anybody in the chat room right now?
Yeah, if you guys want to say @Team YouTube, the Ben Hameen channel being demonetized, and say how you feel openly. Do as thou wilt. 73 strong. See AA Andrezen in there. Big Evil Pops. Scott Simpson. Homeboy 88's back. Chef and Angle. Armand. He's there. Justin French. Ugh.
Yeah, Homeboy 88 showed up and he asked where Crazy Bone was, like a mark. He's like, "Where's Crazy Bone?"
Homo thugs and holler gang bang remaining the same.
You gotta give Justin credit though. He gets paid for power washing. He actually makes money on it.
Jenna Feldy's in the house. She's doing a lot of great comedy stuff. So
Iron Girl.
She knows a thing or two about a thing or two, you guys. And There was a lot going on in Horsemen chat, Stevie. That last thing you just shared, the news piece that was kind of anti-mask in a tongue-in-cheek kind of way. Made Fauci look like a fucking moron, but he's got cancel Dr. Seuss. Guess who's gonna take that spot in children's book writing?
Dr. Douche.
Yeah.
Steve, I do have to watching that, it was just, and I watched that sound up sort of thing when he said it, and the people around me that were just kind of looking over, and the first response was, "Oh, is that Dr. Fauci?" He's a celebrity. Everybody knows who Dr. Fauci is, and he is the guy to go to for your facts. That's exactly where you have to go for your facts, and that's what he's known as. Yeah, so it's like, it's sad. It's fucking awful.
Let's remind everybody that this is the highest paid person in government on the books. And he's still, just like everybody else in government, he is actually, Russo got you too. Yep. He's Russo's making a count on him. See, the mystery is solved.
That's it.
But this is a guy, everybody's making money off the books in government. Pelosi, Schumer, Trump. Well, I'm sure everybody was making transactional corrupt moves. But this guy's the highest paid on the books, more than the president. So you think, and now he's got all the political capital.
He got that $1 million prize too from Israel out of nowhere.
Yeah,
$1 million, bro.
As soon as we get his book out, we need to get that shit out immediately.
It's interesting too, because the Dr. Fauci stuff changes almost every day, and the Rand Paul exchanges, who brings up facts, and Fauci laughs at him. Oh, what is it? I want to say right now, Ben, because you always call this out on these kind of people. Mm-hmm. How many people in government, Biden, Fauci, especially Kamala Harris getting off the plane in Florida when she's asked about if she's going to head to the border, Pelosi, all these people, when they're asked the most serious of questions about the most intense suffering of human beings, like audibly laugh at the question as they're, even the press secretary laughs at stuff at particular cues, when even us being, with the most warped sense of humor will not laugh at this kind of stuff. What is wrong with
it? It is a
people?
psychological tell, isn't it? I mean, just go with your gut on it. And that is now I've got to really put this face on it and do the dance, as opposed to what I'm talking about at Bilderberg Group, where whatever it is, the new Project Veritas video with 600 young males in a containment unit on the border. And right now in Arizona, more deaths going down because of cartel activity from human trafficking as well. And she's going to stand there by the wall, tear down this wall, and they're all going to fucking cheer. And then what's going to happen? And believe me, everyone they round up and have to put through those camps to do whatever, to give an alternative green card so they can do what they want to do. Every dollar of that's coming out of our taxes, but the juice boxes it takes is every day to feed those kids, all the meals, all the blankets, every one of them is invested in those companies that's supplying all that shit. So they're making money coming and then going when they send them to wherever they want to do the next phase of what they want to do with them, dude. But that is definitely a psychological tell of a sociopath, psychopathic personality. Look at Hillary Clinton's got the worst one.
What I was hoping was all the Mexicans built a house real quick and just dropped it on her.
Steve, Hillary's a whole different level. She's a cat, like a witch's cackle. She's not even a laugh. That's straight up like, I'm thinking about a person I just murdered before this interview, and it's funny.
Give Kamala about 2 years, and you compare that, what you saw now, to where the next one will be when Joe has a stroke and she's going to get sworn in, and it's the 60 Minutes and somebody asks her something and she does that. It's going to be a Hillary Clinton moment, and everyone can fucking rewind wherever the fuck this is going to be hosted at that time and see it in real time.
Or just wait till it comes.
Well, to me, I look at it as, number one, it's a nervous tell. Number two, it's a heel laugh, like a 1977 heel promo where all the heels have to laugh and twirl their mustaches because they're all a bunch of freaking bad workers, right? They're all bunch of bad workers in the government.
Come on, I'm not that bad, bro.
No, you're not in the government. it's you know what? It's funny how the media doesn't cover Kamala's or Kamala, whatever you want to call her, his relative who tweets the shooter must have been a white guy. That's why he got apprehended. And lo and behold, the Colorado shooter is a cousin of Ben Hamin, one of those camel jockey guys.
Yeah.
Talk about putting your foot in your mouth, huh? As opposed to the vice president putting all that stuff in her mouth before she was a vice president.
I mean, he's flying the flag here. We got to do it. We got to look at, Diary of a False Flag. We've got a Syrian dude labeled as a basement masturbator who just fucking lost his mind, and girls didn't like him. The white dude who shot up the fucking spas in Atlanta, killing Asians, and we have the whole Stop Asian Hate
inventory is down.
Despite him saying it's not a hate crime, despite him saying it had nothing to do with them being Asian.
Yeah. So here we are right into this coming out of lockdown. The lone shooter. I mean, let's go back to Aurora. The Batman shooter. The Florida nightclub where that story isn't the same as what it was. Can we go back even to Columbine?
You can't.
And we can't even say the words. I mean, we might get demonetized if we said Sandy Hook or
You're not allowed to. Not allowed to say any.
Or Marty Leeds documentary. You can't even upload that stuff. You'll get demonetized. So we better take it easy before.
Just like screwing a pregnant chick, you can't get her pregnant twice.
Exactly.
You can't get demonetized twice. So I think we're okay.
So how dangerous can we be since we don't have that leash on anymore?
Well, let's make believe this is a pilot episode, boys.
Stevie, go ahead. Start.
Greeks invented screwing pregnant chicks.
That's true. That is true.
Well, why don't we talk about our phone calls about the TV shows again? That should get us in a lot of trouble.
Well, here's my question.
Is this Diary of a False Flag with either of these, you guys? And because they're jumping right on it with the gun grab. Is he going to push through another executive order on whatever, bro?
Well, here's the thing with that though. The guy who was supposedly live streaming at the Target was like, "Hey, bro, there's a shooter. People are getting shot."
Kept saying
showing people on the ground, and then turned around to an old guy with his mask down, just looking in this phone. Like nobody's acting like.
I think he's brought there. He's brought there.
He's
like you got a bunch of old torn war veterans in there. They're like, shit, I've been through worse. But also at the same time, that just the media, it just stood out to me because obviously it was the Easter thing where everybody was reading the same exact script through all these different news networks. They were like, yeah, and this shooting happened. So as so happens, this morning we were actually going to debate gun control. So now we got to push. Whoa, really? That's interesting. The morning that you were about to put a bill on the floor about gun control, this happens. And this is people that are almost Nancy Brown's looking and going, wow, that's way more than the coincidence. How is this? Oh, so happens now we got to push it because, man, it's more important than ever. We were just in time.
And what does that look like?
Oh, MyHop, LIHOP, whatever it is.
No,
like a MyHop.
The false flags say they get that through. Like what? Then where are we?
What about the story I told you yesterday from a private company? Which one?
About the midget at the donkey show?
No, that was.
Oh, okay. Kayfabe.
Yeah. The other one was. There was.
That's what's going to get us taken off. A midget is actually running YouTube demonetization. Little people, Little Johnston.
There's a small man with
TLC is the Florida of TV networks. Check it out.
He's got to press the delete button because he can't reach it on his phone. Because nobody's giving him boosties to get on his desk. That little fuck. So anyhow, the yesterday,
and also you throw the left-handed clothesline, he suplexes you.
Brother, what the fuck's the rip, brother? So what winds up happening is there was a massive company outcry for that there was an active shooter at a hospital. Okay, everyone freaked out, and there was a lot of like churning emotions, and people were very upset. People were there was a lot, nobody go that way. There's a lockdown at the hospital, active shooter, guy with an AR-15. Wow, that's some fucking detail. So holy shit. Turns out it turned into there's a guy who came in the front door with a shotgun. So now, by the end of the day, after all the emails were out and everybody hopes, prayers, and everything else, and everyone's be safe, turns out that a man with mental problems was wrestled to the floor, and he said, "I will shoot all you fuckers." There was no gun, there was no active shooter, but there was a panic.
I wasn't wrestled to the floor. I tripped.
Well,
tripped.
They gently lowered you to the floor.
Yeah.
But they said, again, this came right on the heels of Denver's shooter. And it went through a company to be officially emailed to everybody in employment. So that's not a Mary Sue word of mouth. Like, oh, did you hear she's sleeping with this guy? It's not even like that. This hit to the head of the company, and they were like, let's email this. Boom. Hope everybody's safe, stay safe, active shooter alert, code this, blah, blah, blah. So what the fuck? Like, this came on the heels of
this is the worst game of telephone game ever, from a real active shooter down to an email that triggered everybody.
And you get an email from your head, the CEO of the whole place, and now you assume they're going to vet it. Maybe you're assuming all this shit. So now every Nancy Brown who got this email are also the same ones who are running out to get the vaccine and all the other shit because they care enough about their family.
Can I come back to you here in a minute? Because I want to
absolutely
hear that piece that was just kind of posted.
We've just been demonetized for you coming on my back.
On Hameen Media Group discussion board. Water. Oh, sorry. That's oh, shit.
His name is Stevie Richards.
All right. From an avid Hameen Media Group subscriber, if you're on Facebook, Hameen Media Discussion Group, you can go see it because I don't want to say the corporation's name where they work, but this was something that they posted. I appreciate this. Employee COVID-19 vaccination bonus, GGP. Blank Corp is committed to keeping their employees and employees' families healthy and safe. With that in mind, Blank Corp is offering a one-time $100 bonus for any employee completing the COVID-19 vaccination process. Program guidelines: eligibility, all current Blank Corp employees, contractors, temporaries, hires, interns, project work, summer and limited term jobs are excluded from Blank. I can't read it got cut off. Eligibility process. Eligible employees must fill out this form and provide proof of vaccination. Example of proof would be the completed CDC COVID-19 vaccination card. The full vaccine process is required for the bonus. For a vaccine required 2 doses, example, Pfizer and Moderna, you will need to show proof of both doses before becoming eligible for the bonus. Vaccinations do not require out-of-pocket money. The bonus will be processed through payroll and will be considered taxable earnings. Any disputes
going to tax you on.
Yeah, any disputes, deviations, or interpretation of this program will be handled by Kevin, the human resource and then fill out your.
So, do you have any proof that you got the shot? Well, I had my paperwork, but what about my second tit over here? Does that work? The one coming out of my shoulder? Does that work?
If you guys need a shot, go see Kevin. I'm going to do a shot.
Kevin from the office.
Hey, or you get free donuts for a year from Krispy Kreme Donuts because
how about that? You go.
Wait, what?
If you get your COVID vaccine with your personal information on it, and you take it to Krispy Kreme Donuts every day from now till the end of 2021, you can get a free Krispy Kreme donut. So
your papers,
the highest supposed of COVID people that are dying, the highest risk factor are morbidly obese people.
I was going to say,
and now you want to give them donuts on top of it, bro.
Can you just show them your fucking diabetes card? And then
why don't you just put a bullet in them now? Why fuck around?
And there's this little thing right here.
This little
COVID-19 changed our way of life, the way we work, the way we play, the way we live.
Right now, COVID-19 vaccines are available to millions of Americans, and soon they'll be available to
Bobby Lashley
everyone.
with his Wayne
Let's
Brady
get back
jacket
to
on.
our lives and get vaccinated.
Roll up your sleeve and do your part for those you love.
This is our shot.
Pull down your pants
and do this
to go. WWF, it's hunting.
You're not going to get the real vaccine answers at getvaccineanswers.org.
I think he's making Titus actually answer all of them.
Stevie, I loved you played that. Here is the bread and circuses, bro. Here's more money for you of whatever it is in your pocket, or here you want to come back to the circus. You're going to fucking do this and dance, man. We are at that point where the proverb is 100% truth right now in real time.
Let's look at it like this. 80%, like you said, 80% of the people who died of COVID. So that means 8 out of 10 people, for all you fucking degenerates watching the show, were obese. We're overweight. So what do you offer people? A freaking sugar-filled, processed, nitrate-filled donut. One every day for the remainder of the year. And they're going to take it too because it's a free donut. Fuck it.
And do you think they're going to go in for one donut?
No, of course not. They're going to try to get themselves over, get their shit in, and try to get 2-3.
They're going to get 2 vaccinations and have 2 cards to double
No, but what any fat bastard, like, that's funny, but any fat bastard is going to go, it's a marketing ploy. You come in and get one. You're not going to have you can't eat just one.
You're not going to be
a half dozen of the cocksuckers.
Right.
You get 1 out of 5, a half a dozen for free. And Krispy Kreme sold 5 donuts and helped push diabetes, which I'm sure on the back end, their fucking board of directors is invested in whatever insulin company in the same fucking time, bro. They
just raised the price of insulin too when Biden got in. So
why not?
Here's the thing, to back up what GGP just said. Almost every person, you're talking about the 80%, which is actually closer to 90%, have an average of 2.5 morbidities, meaning they have heart disease, they have morbid obesity, they have type 1 diabetes or worse. They have all these things going on. They're predisposed already, as if you gave them pneumonia, they would die from that. You gave them a really bad flu. You gave them anything. We're also talking about cancer, a combination between obesity and cancer, which sounds weird, but that's what people are combining these. The people that do not have these
thrives on sugar, and if you're morbidly obese, eating fucking a bucket and a half of fucking Sour Patch Kids every week,
well, here's
not turn out too well.
We always thought, looking at the Georgia Guidestones, and the 500,000 people and what they were going to try to do for depopulation and trying to do, we always thought it would be some sort of crazy post-apocalyptic type thing, combination between the virus, the vaccine. What is going on? The virus, the vaccine, now doing anything they can to make people as obese and unhealthy as possible to die from something, and then possibly sterilizing the population with the vaccine or anything post that.
Well, can we do something here? Can we call a spade and not call this a vaccine, because it's not a fucking vaccine. A vaccine is supposed to make sure that you don't contract whatever said virus or disease that the vaccine's supposed to fight. This, you get it, you can still get COVID. It just won't be as severe as the COVID you would get if you didn't have the shot. So it's not a vaccine. The whole marketing ploy and advertisement behind it is what Trump used to call fake news, and that's exactly what it is. It's a work. It is just false propaganda advertising, trying to give people a hope spot in the middle of the heat. And that's what we're looking at. Because if we get this, if you get the shot, whichever shot you get, you can still get COVID. So then what the fuck's the point?
Wasn't there in Hawaii like 3 people just this week? I saw that story that were vaccinated who have all test positive for COVID.
Well, here's the deal, bro. Look, we're going to get this vaccine and there's a 99.5% recovery rate. How does that make sense?
Because
why do we need it?
Well, didn't you hear though? Even if you get it, and they're saying you can still get it, you're going to have lesser symptoms.
Yeah, I know.
That's it. That's it, dude.
So this is just...
It's not going to outright kill you, so just go for it.
This is like Dayquil. That's all it is.
Yes. Dude, it's another flu shot. That's all this is. This whole COVID scenario, this whole COVID virus, all it is not another version of the flu, but a flu-like virus, meaning that the severity of it is not what it's made out to be. The death rate is not what it's made out to be. It's a different virus. Like you said, Stevie, 90% of the people who die from it have the other pre-existing conditions. 8 out of 10 people who die from COVID are obese. And on top of that, if you look at the grand scheme of things, I think the grand total of people, I think, 200,000 people now are dead from COVID in the United States?
No, I was 587,000 on Drudge. Maybe that's worldwide on Drudge Report yesterday.
Okay. Let's go with 500,000 just to be on the safe side.
I just want to get you. I don't know the statistic on how many die every year of the flu worldwide, because right there, take that number right out, because every one of those was fucking classified. So whatever the highest number in the last 5 years of people that died from the flu worldwide, take that out of 587,000. Then what are we left with?
Okay, so let's say it does get down to 250, right?
Yeah.
The people who just died from straight up COVID is about 15,000 people.
And a good deal were the people that were put back in the nursing homes in Michigan and New York.
Yeah.
The really vulnerable people.
They were marched right into the fucking petri dish.
Yeah.
We're serving them Krispy Kreme the whole fucking time too.
So what I'm talking about, the 15,000. What I'm talking about, the 15.
Look, it's a Sour Patch
Kid. What I'm talking about, the 15,000 people, right? That number constitutes an average individual who contracted COVID and died from COVID without any pre-existing conditions, without being morbidly obese. The average Joe in the nation of United States of America, the death rate's around 15,000 people nationwide. Are you kidding me? This is what we're batting down the hatches about, right? This is the same virus that's going to end all, be all, but only 15,000 people died. How many people in the U.S.? 3 billion? 2 billion? How many?
Oh, 400 million.
In the entire U.S.?
Yeah.
About 460 million, probably with another 40 million illegals at any given time.
Okay, so that's less than 1% of a death rate.
Mm-hmm. I agree. But how about Miami? Bienvenido, Ami, getting shut down. Party in the club when the heat is on. Gonna arrest you and take your guns. Yeah, when they arrested 1,000 people this weekend, over 100 guns found, but shutting down their beaches there during spring break at 8 p.m. at night. Meanwhile, Florida has one of the lowest rates going. And meanwhile, in New York is a mass central of like psychopaths. You know what I mean?
Yep.
There was no super spreader at the Super Bowl. And now we're going to get WrestleMania 37 with X amount of capacity. Meanwhile, Miami police state crackdown. Stevie?
Well, Miami's just an extension right now. What's going on is just like, I think Texas is going to experience, or has been experienced, just the news hasn't covered it, that people from California, people from New York, people from New Jersey are coming down there to escape the shutdowns, to escape the lockdowns and all the things that they can't do. Then they get the freedom of Florida, but they're like, holy shit, this is nothing like New York, New Jersey, and California. We need to report somebody, see something, say something. And I think that's how it got started.
Oh, I wasn't worried about that. I was just seeing if you found a place near Cons on Zillow. That's why I was asking for the update.
Zillow's not the place to look. And that's a whole nother thing. My God, these people, you want to talk about marks. Look at people that are the people I don't understand. Like I said, it during the pandemic, during this whole thing, when they did shut everything down and everything was closed, we really did have a chance to look around and say, what's really important? What perspective can we have? How can we change our lives moving forward? But no, we just got to go back to consumerism. We got to go back to, I guess I just got to buy a big house because the interest rates are low. The payment will be whatever. And, they're living, like I said, on the Raw SmackDown review, these people are living like a person that just got signed to WWE and buys a really expensive house and a car thinking this is the kind of money I'm going to make for 30 years to pay the house off. And that's just not the case. And unfortunately, that's not going to crack. But GGP, you could probably speak on this, because the government, from what I learned, is carrying the debt. That's why the interest rates are so low. So they don't get called on whatever margin that they have to get called on. So essentially, for these home prices to level out or drop to an acceptable market value, the interest rates have to rise. So for every point that the interest rate rises, correct me if I'm wrong, Papa Don, for every point the interest rate rises, 10% of the home market value will go down. So if it's 500,000, it'll drop 50 grand for every point that the interest rate goes up. The government can't do that because they have to carry their end of the debt if the rate goes up. So this is going to be artificially inflated until the government figures out a way to partner with banks again, like in the TARP in 2008, and take their cut and get out of it.
The problem
Am I off base with any of that?
No, not at all. You're pretty spot on. The problem is this. The government has worked itself into a shoe. And what happens is they took themselves off the gold standard. Our money is a fiat currency right now. It has no value besides anything than goodwill. They can print out money whenever they want, which devalues our buying power of the currency. $100 today doesn't buy you what $100 bought you 5 years ago or 10 years ago. And it's not going to buy us anything of the same nature 5 years from now or 10 years from now. So we keep going in this direction. Sooner or later, shit's going to hit the fan and we're going to get screwed. But they know this. So this is the reason why we're going with the petrodollar and the low interest rates, because they have all the bonds. They bought back all the bonds and the debt. And China has a lot of our debt. And that's why we're bowing to China and all this other stuff. You know, the point being is we have worked our way so down this hole, we can't get out. And there's a saying, you want to get out of the hole, the first thing you got to do is put down the shovel. And unfortunately, the U.S. can't put down the shovel. They don't know how to.
Can I ask you a follow-up question on that?
Go ahead.
With this? I've heard, I don't see any proof yet, but there are podcasts out there talking about that China has been buying a lot of land, a lot of houses, a lot of commercial real estate. So once again, we owe them money. We have debt there, but they're artificially inflating our economy by buying up a lot of land, commercial real estate, and even private real estate.
There is some merit to that. I'm not too privy as far as how much they have bought, but if we look at the big picture, right? They're our number one competitor. They're our number one enemy. It's like Coke and Pepsi, right? They'll do whatever they have to do to get that number one spot. So same thing with the U.S. and China right now. China wants to be where the U.S. is. The U.S. doesn't want to slip, obviously, and become number two. But the way we're heading, we're going to end up being number 3 or 4 in the long run. But yet again, with China, they just bought all of Africa. They owe so much of Africa and the resources in Africa. They're putting us on a short squeeze, quote unquote, or they're squeezing us, from both ends to where, like a pimple, we're going to pop sooner or later and have no choice but to depend on them.
PGP, did you ever see, when like all those gold mining shows took off and they did a couple of them in Africa where the guys go there because they thought they could get a cheap plot of land? They kept running into Chinese like industrialists, and dude, it was coming down to like how Tim Alberino was showing with machete wars and guns, and like dudes with shotguns of like, China was like, fuck you, I don't care if you say that's your fucking land, we're mining that too. So it's like a proxy war on Africa for resources, dude. I was surprised, but is that Operation Mockingbird that even makes it to TV?
Well, who sent the video with where they gave that shit where they were like, the United States not come from a place of power?
Yeah, oh yeah, that too. Here's yesterday after I fucking went off on Spectrum, all new lines, all new everything.
That was the Spectrum SWAT team. They were going to come to assassinate you.
They sent the squad, bro. So hopefully tonight and hopefully going forward, it's free and independent media at its best and highest quality. Otherwise, put them on the Billy Madison hit list as I put lipstick on.
Well, what about that video about Biden not knowing what he's signing and who to give it to? And then they shut it down real quick. The one we just sent by Mike Cernovich into the group chat.
I don't know if I got a chance to see that one or not.
Go in the group chat real quick. Go plop up the video. It's like a 30-second video.
I got the spring break mega mix.
That was right before that.
Yeah, I just sent that.
Right before the spring break mega mix.
That was
also on the.
I sent you guys the
Oh, Stevie, I would like to talk to you about that. I mentioned this to Ben before we got on.
Sure.
Hold on a second. Let me send it to you.
Who
guys.
was that Yenta? These people are the most antichrist people. They're the most godless people. They are just evil people. And I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about?
Mm-hmm. Those Chainsaws new radio show. You don't like it?
And I'm like, how is she Christian?
Yeah, well, speaking of godless people, happy Atheist Day yesterday, Sal.
What was it?
It was Atheist Day, so I was posting some Hitch slaps, Christopher Hitchens. If you haven't watched any Hitch slaps, go to YouTube. YouTube's a great site for content. A great place to go see the different opinions. And check out Hitch Slap, you guys. It was those are some of my favorites.
No, it's interesting you say that because one of the shows on the Daily Wire, Michael Knowles' show, got they got their contract got canceled with Harry's Razors. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because we always talk about the conspiracy here. Like, remember when I got basically unbooked off of the Starcast weekend because the Church of Satan came at, yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you. It was on Atheist Day, I think, too.
It was.
So anyway, they got canceled because a person with 2 followers complained about the guy, Michael Knowles, his show being offensive, transphobic, all this stuff. So they put out a tweet that they condemned that and they canceled the contract, the ad contract. Now, the interesting thing about that is we think, oh, how could they bow to a guy with 2 followers or this and that? Most of these ad companies, they put a morality clause with these shows. So maybe they weren't getting the return on the ads and they were
looking to pull the plug anyway.
So maybe they even created the Twitter account and tweeted themselves in order to get out of the deal. So we always have to look at, like I said, debunking stuff like, yeah, it looks like they're all caving, but these people aren't that dumb. Maybe they're doing it themselves so they can get out of paying money to a lot of people they're sponsoring.
Here's that video. Well, let me play this.
I just sent you the video, Ben. Quick question. Are we still sponsored by Maury's Wigs?
Yeah, they don't come off.
So thank you, Mr. President, for your confidence.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you for willing to do it. Now we're going to get down to business here, and Ron, who am I turning this over to?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I think it's time for the press, our friends in the press, to leave now. Thank you.
Look at his eyes. He has no idea what the fuck is going on.
It's my birthday. What happened?
Thank you very much.
I think I pooped myself.
Thank you very much.
I did a smiley face. Does that work? It's like the president was shot.
Mr. President, for your confidence.
Well,
We got to lock down the room.
Yeah, it's time for the press to leave. Like it's somebody else's eyes. Come on.
Yeah. 9 days. 9 days. I've been up for 9 days.
Oh, come on. I don't think it'll be so small.
Our group chat name right now is Oppressed Billionaires. I'm gonna take the other side of that right now. Imagine if he's been in government forever, but imagine if you were put in a spot and pulled each and every way, and we're tired right now. Imagine this guy right now being pulled every way, traveling, people talking to him. I know he's having some decline, but even if you didn't, you would be probably confused too, to some degree. I'm not making excuses for him, and I'm not.
I think you really
I'm not collecting any money right now.
Absolutely, just did.
Are you trying to get booked in the?
I was going to say,
man.
Stevie's going to be sitting on 6 X chairs next week.
No, I don't think so. They've gone.
He's going to be sitting on the X couch.
It goes to me with the payment part. Everything was good up until paying me.
Can I ask you guys a question?
Twitter followers got to them.
Do you think the people in the government did this on purpose as a rib, and they're laughing that all the people at the border that's detained in those tents are wrapped in those silver freaking blankets like little burritos, and they're laughing about it?
Yes, and I think what they're doing is we're all mad at Biden. We're all mad at Biden. We're going to get so mad at him for doing everything completely wrong that the left and whoever else is going to beg for Kamala Harris.
Well, I think they're gonna try to run the go back to Chevy Chase with the goofy Gerald Ford shit when he would do the shtick of him falling, and he would fall down, and they all thought it was a funny thing. And then when Dana Carvey started, every SNL did a president, And every SNL did, they overplayed, they made characters, they made caricatures of these presidents. It wasn't until last 4 years they were going in and they were looking to make messages, and they were looking to really stab and dig. And Joe Biden, they're gonna start this off as he's just the funny grandpa, and they're gonna try to make it cute and acceptable and lovable and fun. And it's gonna be too close to home. We're gonna see less. I think this is gonna be the first. I think this will be the first 4 years where we see less of a presidential, jokes being made.
I don't think we played this one on last week's show. Let me bring it up
real quick. Do you know why you can't play Uno with the Mexicans stuck at the border?
Oh boy!
Because they always try to steal you the green cards.
Oh.
Thank you. Try your waitress, tip your bill.
There's never been anything like this virus in our lifetime. Often, it's hard to see the effects it's having on our children. Has this conversation taken place in your home?
Mom, I'm scared about going back to school.
Shut your mouth.
Sick, and I don't want to get you and Dad sick.
Our scientists tell us there are 3 things we must do to stay safe. Wear masks, make sure we social distance, and wash our hands. And now, your school,
wash your ass.
Microsoft Corporation, has created another. Introducing Daily Pass, your exclusive ticket for safely going back to school. Each week, you can schedule your free on-campus COVID test. The results are displayed in your Daily Pass. And if you choose to take your test off campus, you can post the results in your Daily Pass. And the moment vaccinations are available, you'll simply be able to schedule yours through your Daily Pass. But the real magic is your daily health check. Just answer a few simple health questions every day, and like magic, your entrance ticket appears.
Welcome back.
I'm afraid to get you and Dad sick. You're an idiot.
First
off,
off,
real kid.
This
You little stupid head. What do you know? Did you ever question me and your father's authority?
I should have swallowed.
GGP, if you ever need me to talk to your kids, I'll do it. Put your mask back on. You're going to kill everyone in the car, you little fuck.
Look at the kid's shirt.
It was so good to be back.
Oh, yeah.
Keeping me safe.
Hope it's a target and somebody shoots an arrow in her chest. You fucking idiot.
First of all, that irritates me to no end, and I'll tell you why.
Really? Why? Why would that irritate you?
Because as a parent, the fact that Microsoft decided to use children as bait and switch propaganda hit pieces when everybody knows that children are not able to carry this disease and catch this disease. And it's proven on the CDC website, them trying to, even Fauci himself at one point said that children are less likely to get this disease than adults. The schools should be open. Before he did a 180 and being pressured by the government to change his mind.
Pressured, paid off. Same thing.
Exactly. So the mortality rate is less than 0.000060333%. It's not even a tenth of 1%. It's less than that. That someone who is under the age of 25 will die from COVID, or even contract COVID. And then even better yet, if you want to break it down to statistics, 1 in a million. And they said that people at the age of 25 and under, 1 in a million who catch COVID die. 1 in a million under the age of 25. The chance of them getting struck by lightning is 1 in 750,000.
Come on, lightning.
Exactly. So what I'm saying is they're more likely to get struck by lightning than die of COVID. COVID doesn't spread among the kids for some reason. And guess what? Using that as propaganda and using that as a hit piece for a marketing tool is utter nonsense. And I'm sorry, but everyone in Microsoft right now who came up with that fucking marketing ploy should get fucking strung up and should get prosecuted, because that's false propaganda.
I think you got
bullshit.
It's prosecuted, then strung up. But if you want to do it the other way, I'm down. I'm with you.
I'm angry, bro. That pissed me off right there.
It's unbelievable. It's beyond being pissed off, bro. That's fucking march into Silicon Valley and start dragging these nerds out by their fucking feet, bro.
Really? You could literally just
school district. And
raise your voice.
There's even more subtle things in there. In the beginning, when the father drops the daughter off at school, the car is like all dusty and like out of focus. And then when he pulls up after, when they have the Microsoft, the car is all white and everything is clear and we can see again. There's so much in there, bro. That think about a marketing team sat around a table and that this is coming out via Bill Gates, dude.
Well, they're giving free car washes with vaccines now too.
Well, they might be going to DDP Yoga getting the power wash special.
Listen, the haters can say all they want, but he's winning.
Stevie, how are you feeling about the Microsoft cartoon propaganda? It's on the school bus, LA school district. This is obviously rollout California right here.
I want to know more what people think before like this happened, when they always used to say things against people that were anti-vaccine, like the anti-swine flu vaccine, which hurt a lot of people back from even 76. And then with what was the other virus that Obama and Biden were? Was it Ebola and SARS that came here? That was really
West Nile.
West Nile swine.
There was a few that were really pretty bad when they got here, but the media never covered it with Obama.
Because it wasn't an election year.
So once again, Papadon said we can't even call it a vaccine. Right there, you're being intellectually and medically dishonest because it's not even approved to be a vaccine from the FDA or anything else. So, and that lies back on the Trump administration, whoever had it ready to go even before Trump. And let's remind everybody too, just as a side note, that Fauci's history, as it comes with another virus, the AIDS virus in the early 80s, and there's a video hopefully still up there with the woman that worked with him, that they were suppressing a lot of stuff that could have helped a lot of people keep from dying, essentially, back then in the early 80s with the AIDS virus. Now, the direct ties of Fauci with that clinic in Wuhan, and then the connections, the reconnections back to the Wuhan clinic and this prize that you were talking about. Very odd. What was it? $4 million that was donated to that Fauci gave to that clinic a couple of years before this happened.
And it was moved to Wuhan in 2012, where only because of legislation on illegal locking down of those type of projects. And let's talk about what HIV really is. It's a manufactured disease of some twisted lab motherfucker, then set and released in the population of the Black gay community to eliminate them for whatever genetics plan, genocide plan they were trying to do to wipe them off the table. And at the end of the day, Fauci's probably a United Airlines foot stomper under the fucking table, and he's got some weird closet queer type thing that he's trying to, if you're trying to kill those people, that tells you the entire thing is really on them and what they're trying to do and whatever cabal they're in, bro. Because this, with the reinvestment into Wuhan, instead of doing the who done it and start pointing the fingers, I can't believe they haven't tried to knuckle up with that in a war games type scenario. How about the other end of the spectrum though, GGP? I know you liked it because I retweeted it. The whole plane that got up because they tried to make two little girls put their masks on. And I've seen this on other Hasidic Jews. It was a primarily Jewish flight from Israel. And, you know, they'll get loud and rowdy quick when they think they're being discriminated against to some degree. But the entire plane got up and got off and said, boycotted in an act of Henry David Thoreau civil disobedience that I haven't seen since a flash mob went down.
No, absolutely. I thought that was great. And I posted it and said there's strength in numbers. And some fucking dipshit on Twitter decides to fucking comment and say that it's or stupidity and gave
Danny
you some
Cage.
No, some fucking guy. I don't even know if I should say his name, but some dipshit decided to go against it. whatever, you're entitled to your opinion, but let's face facts. There is strength in numbers. And we said this on the NFL podcast last night. The majority of the people in this country, I would say 99% of these people in the United States of America right now are all like-minded individuals. They're not racist. They're not sexist. The only thing they want to do is they want to go to work. They want to be able to support their families and for their loved ones. They want to enjoy a beer and watch some TV. They want to do what they want to do is take care of their family and leave the world in a better place for their children and have that world be a better environment than what we came up in. You want your children to have a better life than you had. That's the ultimate goal. But the majority, that's not sexy. That doesn't sell. What sells is the minority of those assholes and those pricks out there who are full of hate, sexism, racism, whatever the case may be. And the media takes that minute group of people, that minute percentage, they exaggerate it because they make it reality, because perception is reality, and they use it as a distraction tool to keep everyone fighting with each other. But if we all came together as a cohesive unit and realized, hey, we're getting fucked here by the government, by the quote-unquote 1%ers, by whatever you want to call them, by Gates and Fauci and, whoever else, they would realize there's more of us than there are of them. And I'm pretty sure the boys in blue and all those people in the armed forces would realize that if all of us come together and stand up, they would jump on our side. And for every one person from the 1% who is screwing this entire nation and the entire globe, the world over, there's 1,000-to-1 ratio at least. How are they going to survive? But the people in power know that. So they keep us distracted. We fight for the crumbs. They run away with the pie because a house divided can't stand. And that's what it all comes down to.
But we just saw a house solidified in
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
Is that the Revolutionary Act is the domino that will start this?
Yes, this is what we need more of. We need to come together and all be on the same frequency, the same wavelength, because let's face facts. At the end of the day, none of these corporations care about us. They only care about their bottom line. And all those people and the lobbyists who are greasing the politicians' hands, let's look at the facts. There was a law in place that these pharmaceutical companies cannot put out any medication or vaccine that can cause harm to individuals. What happens with COVID? They lift that law, and all of a sudden we have a 95% vaccine rate where we don't have enough data to support that number because we don't know the long-term effects. So they're calling it a vaccine, which it isn't. It's not FDA approved, right? And on top of that, when we have scenarios and viruses that have been around for forever, the best we can do is come up with a vaccine that only works 10, 20, 30% of the time. So how in Christ's name can we sorry, Stevie, how in Jesus' name, sorry, Stevie, can we come up with a vaccine that works 95% of the time? It just doesn't make any sense. So people need to come together, and everyone I talk to, and I break it down simplistically like this, you know what they say? What is that? That's Stevie? And Luke?
Stevie putting candy in the Easter basket.
Oh, no, that's Stevie shaving cane. Nice.
Yeah, that's me inducting him in the Hall of Fame right now.
So
shave his head again.
Well, good thing you'd have to shave his balls.
When he's voted mayor.
But what I'm saying is...
Would you do it for a job?
What, shave his balls? No. I would shave his head for a job, but I wouldn't shave his balls. Anyway, like I was saying, if we all came together and took a stand, the majority of people I talk to are on the same wavelength as us. And they say the same things. They see through all the propaganda. They see through all the lies. But they don't step forward and come together. We need to come together as a nation and say enough is enough. And that's it.
So, okay, let me ask you a question.
I know it's ideal. It's ideal. Now, is it going to happen? No.
No, because let's look at something so less fucking serious than COVID. Let's look back at the fucking NFL. Okay? Look at the NFL, and everybody was going to boycott the NFL back in, fuck them. We're never watching another one, never watching another, all this shit. And all of a sudden the NFL's, their fucking, the ratings dropped and everybody said, oh shit, people are actually not watching anymore. That's gone. Like you can't even remember why people were going to boycott.
Gone.
Because of Kaepernick or some other bullshit. No, they've given up. They don't even care anymore because you know why? In these uncertain times, crazy times, everybody, COVID, crazy times, pandemic happened. We need to focus on the pandemic, not that we were going to give up on the NFL because, well, really, we're stuck inside, so we might as well watch the NFL. So, again, people will only fucking boycott, and they'll only do it when they know they're not going to be the only one doing it. It's the herd mentality. It's like we said with Area 51. Who's the first jerk off who's going to run forward and take a fucking bullet in the face?
Enrico Palazzo.
It's Enrico Palazzo.
Let me switch it up here. Marco Rubio talks to TMZ about UFOs and the possibility of alien life. There's stuff flying over our military installations we can't identify.
That guy looks like a young Frank Perdue.
Senator Marco Rubio, Florida, shared his thoughts with TMZ, revealing he is worried about UFOs flying near U.S. Military bases. TMZ stopped the senator, a member of the Senate and Committee on Intelligence at Reagan National Airport on Monday, noting that the government is now required to release a report detailing everything officials know about UFOs. Quote, there's stuff flying over military installations and nobody knows what it is, and it isn't ours, he said. And adding that it's logical to want to identify these unidentified flying objects. Quote, it's common sense, right? So we should be worried about the potential foes from a galaxy far, far away, GGP. Rubio seems to think so. Quote, I think the worry is that there's stuff flying over our facilities and we don't know what they are, said the senator. Quote, you know what I mean? So that's the concern, and maybe it's other logical explanation to it. The TMZ reporter went far as to ask Rubio if aliens or China imposed a bigger threat to the United States, prompting the senator to repeat that he does not know what the object was. Quote, there's stuff flying over our military installations and we don't know who's flying it. They don't even know who it is, Rubio added. So that's a problem. We need to find out what we can. Rubio went on to crack that the aliens must be smarter than humans if they made it all the way here and we can't make it there. We don't know what that stuff is that's flying over the top of our installations. Let's find out. Maybe it's another country, and that would be bad news too.
And Senator Rubio was so enraged by not knowing that he went to the hard-hitting TMZ to get his story out.
They ran up on him at the air. They ran up on him.
Yeah, but still.
Come on, man.
Are they going to be the ones you fucking talk about this to? Are you going to come out to TMZ and go, listen, guys?
I mean, I'm not trying
really
to
concerned
for Harvey and TMZ, but there is something for running up on journalism. That's how Alex got.
Yeah, great.
That's how Luke Radowski was getting people. And if Rubio's on the Senate Intelligence Committee, and that none of that was hard-hitting stuff, but it's still I get it.
So, this is exactly it. We talked to Senator Rubio about UFOs. What else you got, Rasad? Well, I saw Paris Hilton. She's getting a hoagie. Cool.
I'm telling you right now, too, man. I know the power washing taskmaster over here in Smyrna, Georgia. Those are all set up. Those TMZ things that would, come on, this is TMZ. They send it in. It's their friend is recording them. I'm saying that
think that Rubio wanted them to be set up so he can start leaking out information.
No, I think that there's no way that the U.S. government, unless they design it, can never be made to look like the almighty, all-knowing entity that they are. This is too, for you to say we don't know what's flying over our airspace publicly, you have to be allowed to say that. Or there has to be some bigger play of the aliens are the next false flag. They're the next terrorist. There can't be this weakness unless this is just like him not giving a fuck. But there's people above Biden and who's ever in charge on the face of government that'll pull Mark Rubio into a room and you'll never see him again.
Sure. But Paul Hellyer kind of said the same thing of them flying over their military installations, turning off nuke facilities, turning them just off. Everything gets
And what kind of mass panic or mass enlightenment happened after that?
only for us, for a very small niche.
Yeah, but we still had to get up to go to work the next day and put our mask on at Target and do all that bullshit. Nothing stops. Nothing stops for it. I mean, that's what they're doing. I think what they're doing is they beat us down in 2020 so bad that now whatever they tell us is just like, oh, okay, well, aliens. I guess what else can you give us? You know?
Look at where
exactly
it's going to, the outlet of who the TMZ follower is, and now they're mixing this into the same conversation as Paris, Hilton's period, whatever it is, whatever her flow is. So,
that's way more sexy.
They're getting into that conversation at the lowest level follower.
Yeah. Well,
that's who you want to get to.
Right. Yeah. Sure. But like exactly what Stevie said, people are just going to go, aliens, figures. That's how it's going to be fucking blown off.
I knew that.
Figures.
I knew that the whole time.
And then you're going to have the people who believed but never actually came out and said it, be like, that's what I've said the whole time. I've always said that. I've always believed in that. And it's gonna wash away all of the problems and the questions and all the bullshit that's happened. They're gonna say, oh well, aliens. Oh, okay, well that makes sense now. It wasn't you guys lying to us. The aliens fucked it all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, it's got to put the heat on somebody.
Listen, Speaking of aliens, what about the health secretary?
Yeah.
The fact we're in a scenario where someone from government, higher form of government, a senator, comes out and says, yeah, some shit's flying over all these military bases. We don't know what it is. We don't know who it is. We can't identify it. It's not ours. That's not a national threat. People aren't worried, but they're worried about a fucking virus that has a 99.5% recovery rate. You see what I'm saying?
Because they're told to.
I know. But the fact that, like Stevie said, this doesn't have anyone bat an eyelash. No one's blinking an eye going, oh, wait a minute, what? And then none of the news is covering it because it's not sexy.
You know what it is? Fucking Men in Black. How you go to the tabloids and you get all the real news.
Yeah, basically.
You know what I mean? And that's what it is. People look by and they go, oh, the Bat Boy, cute. And then they go, oh, look, Marco Rubio is talking about UFOs. Cool. And that's it.
I know. We just want to stay on this path as we get closer to July with supposedly whatever all this is going to be information.
July.
Yeah. So interesting that way. Man, I had one other thing I wanted to get to. I can't remember what it was. Oh, GGP. I didn't get a chance to read this, but I was pumped about it. Research group proposes way to travel on speed of light faster than speed of light.
Yeah, I read the article. I don't remember exactly verbatim what it says.
Hypothetical particles and states of matter, unusual physical properties permit faster than light travel. This kind of matter either cannot be found or cannot be manufactured in necessary amounts. Sal, let's talk to CERN about that. The paper states the new paper places more importance not on theoretical research, but on possible engineering solutions. The research describes a plan to permit super fast travel by creating a series of what researchers call solitons to provide for the basis for a powerful propulsion system. A soliton is a compact wave that keeps its speed and shape while moving with little loss of energy. This method could permit travel at any speed. Recent results appear that in the public classical and quantum gravity. I mean, I subscribe, so you guys should too.
Well, I can clear this up right now because this man has already invented faster than light travel. This man is Zefram Cochrane. He invented the warp drive, and when he had made contact with the Vulcans, Stan knows what I'm talking about.
I did. As soon as I saw this picture, all right.
So whoever this guy is doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah. It's been in history books for years, sir.
Yeah, everybody else is fighting like they're in 1590 with lightsabers and bullshit like that.
Well, to keep it in space, first full moon of spring to be the closest moon of the year so far, causing chaos under the surface as we've seen volcanic activities and we've seen earthquakes off the coast of Japan once again. You know, here we are, and then the bullshit of the satellite is now SETI satellite is taking pictures of the backside of the moon, bro. That was the worst Photoshop job I think I've seen in a long time from NASA. Of like a concocted moon, Earth didn't look real at all, and the drop shadow was right out of Photoshop. It wasn't even remotely close. It was. I could probably call the angle on the Photoshop was at 82 degrees, to be honest with you. After they hit add drop shadow and put it out, and it might have been 16 pixels and about 80% opacity.
You should make one. You should make a whole new moon.
It would take me 5 minutes to do that, and like even the one that they put up for the NFL with the Death Star, like I could get the drop shadow identical in less than 10 seconds.
It did look fucking hokey.
I know. I'm not trying to shoot your shit down, but look what they're trying to pass off again still. So with alien disclosure and NASA still giving out fucking child level bullshit propaganda, man. It's just like
it's like Gumby stop animation type shit that moon was.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the moon has been crazy bright where I am the last week here. It's been pretty clear. I don't know what you guys been seeing.
It's been raining all today, but
today,
usually when take Shemp out to go pee, it's bright as fuck. I could see everybody out in the yard. Fucking deer, rabbits, everybody's out just running around.
Yeah. When we drove to Florida, it looked really crazy. Like about a week or so ago, it was really huge, and it was like probably 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. It was about that bright until about 7:30, 8 o'clock as we were driving south. It was pretty crazy. And when you get a chance after we get off this, check the chat and look at that tweet I sent you.
Okay. Will do.
The whole scenario with the moon has just been funky as of late, in my opinion. The fact that I get to see the moon every day during the daytime does not make any sense to me at all anymore. It really doesn't. I don't remember ever seeing the moon during the daytime when I was a child, and only because we were taught in school, here is the earth, here is the sun, it's daytime on this side, here's the moon on the opposite side, it's nighttime on this side, and then as the earth turns, now the moon is over here and it's nighttime over here. So how the hell is the moon and the star and the sun on the same side where I don't know, maybe it's a Mandela effect, I don't know. I mean, I found out a new Boba Fett Mandela effect, and I shared it with Sal.
Oh, really?
Blew my fucking mind. Yeah, absolutely.
What was it?
All right.
He was his. Do you want to go into it? His suit, his chest piece.
Yeah, you know how he has the green plates on the chest,
right?
The green metallic armor underneath.
Let's ask if he knows. Okay. Do you guys remember what Boba Fett looks like?
Mm-hmm.
What did Boba Fett wear? He had green plates. What color was his under armor?
Well, like the under the armor there, it was green, red, and then silver underneath.
That's what it changed ever since the Mandalorian came out, right? For some strange reason, to me, and me being this hardcore Star Wars junkie that I am, and I brought this up to Doc, and it blew Doc's mind as well. I always figured Boba Fett would be gray fabric, right? Green armor, and the chest part, it's gray to match the gray sleeves, the gray pants, right? And everything was gray.
Yep.
Now it was two different tones from Return of the Jedi, more of a darker tone in Empire Strikes Back, but it was all monochromatic. All that means one color, right? All the same color. Well, then what happened? Mandalorian drops. He gets his armor from Din Djarin's ship, and it's on a off-white vest, right? And he puts it over his black Tusken Raider cloak that he's wearing now, right? So I go back and I'm looking at all the figures. I'm looking at all my statues. And for some reason, the vest underneath now is off-white and everything else, the fabric is gray. So the vest that holds the armor doesn't match the same color as the fabric of...
Well, here's the thing. So I had looked at, when GGP showed me this, I looked it up to see if it was maybe like, remember the C-3PO with the silver leg and the bullshit? Sure. So I'm like, maybe it's an off-print, maybe it's a thing that now has become like a collector's item deal. Nothing. There's nothing on it. So it's not like, oh, we did this by
Is there a
accident, so now it's a
Mandela
collector's
effect on that? Is it become a Mandela effect as well, where other people are noticing that?
I don't know, because you know what? I have no idea. Maybe it's just me, but me being the fucking big Boba Fett mark I am, I always saw it as a single color. Then I look at Jango Fett, all right, and I'm looking at it right here. The posters right here. Jango Fett's armor, which is Boba Fett's dad, Stevie, from the prequels. His blue cloth that he wears underneath the silver armor, the vest part is a darker blue than the remaining blue that's part of his outfit. And I went, wait a minute, why would it be two different blues? So that blew my mind. So I don't know if it's a Mandela effect. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe I'm just losing my fucking mind because for whatever reason, 37 kids not getting signed to a national fucking contract in wrestling. I have no idea.
There is a Mandela effect Boba Fett thing, but I'm not sure how it has changed exactly. I have to look more into that, but very interesting. I remember it the way you do. Stevie, this Goldilocks thing you sent me, or whatever's going down right now with her, I'm asthmatic and I need to use my inhaler, and they're threatening to throw me out because I lowered my mask. I forgot I'm in China. I think I'll just die here tonight of severe asthma attack. You can all split my life insurance money. So hopefully
Can you get her on right now? See what she's
let me see.
That was 1 hour ago. Maybe you can contact her.
Hit her up here.
Today at the gym, my gym that I go to by my house over here, not the other one that I go to, but the one that's close to my house, they don't let you wear gaiters. They have a sign up. They don't want you wearing the gaiters, right? Which is horseshit. So I wear it anyway.
Sorry, go ahead.
No. I don't want to talk if she's going to answer the phone.
Kayfabe.
Fable, or maybe she had an asthma attack.
She's dead on the floor reaching for her phone.
Sorry, that mail.
Sorry.
Okay, so SJ Dub Gimmick is saying, I have very little knowledge of Star Wars, but I remember as a kid, I had a Boba Fett action figure that was beige off-white. I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
I don't either.
Mine was gray, had gray armor.
Yeah, man.
Even if it's beige off white, his figure for whatever, it was all the same color. What I'm saying is now the color of the vest on the cloth part underneath the armor on his chest is different than the cloth of the sleeves and on his pants. And it just behooves me to think that it was always two colors as opposed to one color, because I don't remember that. But yet again, I don't even remember the silver leg on 3PO. So that came out of nowhere as well. But back to the gator story, right? The lady at the desk, like, do you got a mask? I said, I'm wearing a mask, lady. She goes, you can't wear a gator here anymore. I was like, why? She goes, some lady complained that somebody was holding the gator too low. I was like, oh, well, I see people wearing the masks very low. I'm complaining as well. I was like, listen, your manager's right there. He sees me at the gym every day with the fucking gator on. He doesn't say anything. I was like, if he says anything to you, point him to me and I'll talk to him. So as I'm walking by, he sees me, he doesn't say anything. I'm wearing the gator. And then I go, let me check out section, the law. I type in New York State mask law, and under section 66-3.2, face coverings, you have to wear face coverings. And what a face covering is basically a piece of cloth over your face. So anywhere you guys go out there in New York and they're trying to say you can't wear a certain mask in there, that's illegal. You could show them.
As I've stated before, too, though, there are government facilities in New Jersey. Bandanas are not allowed. Gaiters are not allowed. Painting masks are not allowed. Anything with the that's not the P95, whatever the fuck it is. Anything that's not those type of masks or some fucking Etsy, and it works. But you cannot use a gaiter. You cannot use a bandana. And I'm like, what's the fucking difference? They won't let you in the front door. And these are not private buildings. It's not like it's a private where you can just do what you want. These are a couple of actually funded buildings. So,
well, I saw there's a loophole saying that if you're medically clear due to trauma or some kind of medical condition where you can't wear a mask, you don't have to wear a mask. So I'm trying to find out how I can go about not wearing a mask and get the papers. I'll show my papers everywhere I go. I don't have to wear a fucking mask. I'll be more than happy to do so because I have a little trauma, and I'm a little.
Just go get the shot. You can show your papers.
Fuck out of here! I'm not getting that goddamn shot.
I gotta get the papers. Get the papers. And I'll get the papers, total it up, roll it up, light it up, infidels. I think we're right about ready to take it home here, 8:45 p.m. With the health secretary that we're going to swipe right on that for our Tinder date. We got to meet up. She's coming over in a little bit. We're going to get some Domino's deep dish, and I'm going to. She's going to join Retribution. She's the.
Stevie, send me that picture. We need to make a moment of that.
T-bar stands for trans rights. But you can go right now to ProWrestlingTees.com. Use the code Dynamite. All of our stores save 20%. And as we are demonetized, the demonetization special here on Conspiracy Horsemen, signing up for Patreon.com/Hameen Media. Is the best places. I just released a new episode of the Rip Rogers podcast, and yes, we will be in the short term doing much, much more there. That's going to be our lifeline. So if you're an avid subscriber, $5 tier is plenty. I'm going to do more at Culture Vulture and the higher marketing tiers too. Please submit any requests. And there's plenty of other Patreon things going on with Russo brand. The official Russo Bro coffee still getting 33% more free for the next week here as we approach 331 with Crazy Bone from Bone Thugs and Harmony. Our biggest guest yet. I mean, as far as popularity goes, notoriety, and hopefully he doesn't end up like John McAfee. But Stevie, what else going on over there? Stevie Richards Fitness, the best thing we can do is stay healthy and not get a vaccine for Krispy Kremes.
Yeah, and also probably you're not qualified. If you go through the 12 and 16-week resistance band training programs, or if you buy home gym equipment from forceusa.com/Stevie or diamondbackfitness.com/Stevie, you will never, ever, ever be nominated to be assistant health secretary. I'm sorry to say. So you have no qualifications.
Coming for your guns.
It's okay, just put them upstairs, man. Biden can't get them.
We'll see about that. I think about it. There'll be about 15 million guns that'll be in the lake or in the ocean. Oh, I don't know what happened to them, especially the ones in this house.
Yeah. Hey, let me ask you a question, Ben. Do you think Triple D is now kicking himself in the butt, going stupid? Why did I come up with that donut gimmick?
Oh, I said,
you should give a donut out to the people that don't get vaccinated.
Oh, I said, put it on the Hameen Media tab locally at Dippin' Donuts. Don't get vaccinated, get a donut so you can just get fatter and not to it. But boom. Now tell me what you gonna do. GGP awesome. Concealed carry license when there ain't no place to hide when Jesus comes for you.
My favorite was Walmart today, by the way. Jesus is coming. But
all over the ski.
Walmart said, probably not a good joke to say when I walk in, and it says, we appreciate if you don't openly carry your weapon in this Walmart. And I walked up and I said, you mean like openly carries concealed's fine, right? And they were like, what? And I was like, okay, thank you.
Have a good day. I should just tuck your jacket up a little bit more.
Pop.
I want to share something about guns. I want to help some people out. If you are worried about them coming for your guns, get yourself a large, very large PVC pipe, enough to fit your guns into. Get the caps on both ends. Make sure you get that in. Put the string through there, through the end. Put a rope, and bury it on a public park. Bury it in a public, anywhere that is a state park, anything like that. They cannot dig up those guns.
Why?
The government cannot come for your guns if they're buried on public property.
Would you get arrested for digging in the
park?
Not
if they don't know about it, GGP.
We're not. We go outside the law. I was just gonna make it look like fake pipes, so they'd be like, "Oh, there's pipes in here." And they're like, no, there's guns in there. GGP, any new bookings?
Are you kidding me? You got no fucking shows here in the Northeast. I'm sitting here like I'm going crazy.
Reach out. I got on big time end of August in Watervliet, New York. So
where the fuck is that?
It's other side of Albany, so it'd be closer to you. So probably two hours from you.
All right, I'll reach out. They'll tell me no because I want too much money, but whatever.
Kevin Sullivan's on it.
You blouser.
The Ascension, a couple others.
Somebody asked me to do a virtual signing in New York City on April 9th, but I'm so afraid to go to New York.
Signing?
I'm so I don't know what it is. No,
you go and sign, like they put you on StreamYard like this, and people do questions while you sign things that they buy an auction for. So it's.
Then why do you have to leave your house? Why don't you stay in your house?
Yeah, that's what I said. But the problem with that is I'm so afraid that something's going to happen and I'm going to have to get quarantined or some bullshit that
you misunderstood. What they said was it's a Virgil auction and you're just going to his house. Hey, bro, I want you to sign my shit.
The Virgil signing.
Stevie Rich's doll. I got from Toys R Us, man. Sign this shit for me.
No bookings, bro. No bookings. I wish I had some bookings lined up. Unfortunately, no. Like I said, we did the NFL last night. Had a great show with Dominic Pace. Listen to it, guys. We go deep into Star Wars, into the political state today of the world, how fucked up the world is, and how today's youth and the generation that came after our generation are very soft, and they're all brats that expect to they have that sense of what's the right word? Entitlement, as opposed to working hard for something. There's no accountability. The feminization of the male demographic nowadays, and how everybody on the male side looks like a bunch of fucking sissies. And that's basically it. We had a good conversation, good talk. It was good. And, check it out. It'll hopefully drop in the next couple of days. And that's basically it. I did enjoy the Snyder's Cut Justice League, which was fucking phenomenal. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, dude. It's up there with Avengers.
Let me ask you a question then. I know we're going out. What
we're going out? You're going to buy? I'll put out.
What kind of fuck you moved by the studio like 2 or 3 days after it came out, and how much the rave reviews to say, yeah, it was great, but we're not doing any more of that.
Yeah, but you know what I think is going to happen? I think the fans are going to push back. They started this new trend, hashtag release the Snyderverse or restore the Snyderverse or whatever the hell it's called. There's too much money being left on the table if they don't follow through on this.
You know what I think you should do? Crowdfund every movie from now on.
They could do that.
That's what they're doing in fucking games. Nobody's paying for anything anymore. Nobody's doing anything unless it's prepaid. Like by GoFundMe, crowdfunding, Kickstarter, all of it. Nobody's making anything anymore. They're waiting for it to be funded from other people.
Sal, did you see it yet or no?
No, I'm actually waiting to see what we're talking about today.
Listen, I'm telling you, from one comic book nerd to another, this thing is absolutely.
You gave it to go. I was literally before the show just talking with a bunch of people. Your recommendation is put it over the top.
We should all do a watch along.
Oh, I'll definitely do it. Let's do it. And we could charge people. We could sit there for 4 hours and make some scuttle.
I'll watch it.
I watched another show on HBO Max about QAnon. It was only 2 episodes. I don't know if it's an ongoing show or if it's a documentary series or it was just a 2-parter. I don't know. What horse shit. What horse shit about it? I don't understand how some of these people believed in that QAnon to like end all be all. And it's just like these people they interviewed are like weird looking, weird talking, weird everything. And I know you're not supposed to judge a book by a cover, but there's no such thing as coincidences, as my sexy Jesus friend once said. So, holy cow. I watched it for the founder of 8chan and then the person who bought it off of him.
All right, guy. 1 second. She said bring her on.
I thought it was video.
No, it's all good. I can bring you on right through the board and audio. They're hearing you now, Goldie. How are you?
I'm pissed.
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm done. I'm getting paid tonight. I rented a $7,000 lens, and I almost stormed out. And I just realized that I have to at least make the money to pay for this rental, so I have to stay. But I have fucking asthma. Excuse my language.
Hit it.
And if I need to lower my mask to fucking inhale, then I should be. Everybody else is out smoking weed and doing what else they are doing. I just needed to lower my mask. And like they literally came over to me, and I could feel my fist. I'm gonna knock somebody out tonight, and that's not good. And I'm just telling you, it's out of fucking control. You can't even take a sip of fucking water.
Unless you're at a bar or a restaurant, then you're fine. I don't fucking believe these people.
I'm at a live venue tonight in Nashville, Tennessee. They've got, you come in the door and they crucify you, and it's like I come in with my arms are full. I've got gear. I've been hired. I'm here to work. Okay, it's my side hustle. I do photography. Great. And then they're like, well, you need a mask on. I'm like, well, do you want to put it on? Because my hands are full and I'm late. Well, the lady was nice enough to offer help at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, so she grabbed it out of my purse, put it on. Okay, the last time I was here, 6 months ago, no mask. Nobody cared. Then I get in there with my freaking mask on, and it's like they're all over me about everything. Like I'm standing close to people because I'm a photographer and I'm shooting photos, but I'm too close. And they ask if I have a better lens that shoots from further away. I'm like, no, I didn't bring one that's more than, I have a $7,000 lens. That's the best one I have. And if that's not good enough for you, then take my lens and shove it up your ass.
It's out of control. We've cited a couple examples of the reverse with civil disobedience, with people all exiting a plane in Israel because they try to do the same thing to 2 little girls. But they're dividing us more and more and using the bread and circuses as a way to just make this idiocy into the new normal. The new normal, right?
No, it's not. It's not. It's
No.
all fucking theater. And you know what? I gotta tell you, I can't use names today, but 2 of my pro wrestling friends got the shot. And if you want to get the shot, that's great. They didn't want to get the shot, but both of their spouses kindly asked due to their health conditions. I get it. I'm not saying yes or no. There's a lot of people who are brand members that have health issues. You need to get it. I'm burping because I have to slam my food down out in the parking lot because I can't eat or drink inside while I'm working. And the 2 people that I know got the shot and called me. They got it yesterday. They called me today, both of them completely crippled. I'm not even joking. Both of these people, I won't use their names, completely crippled, massive body pain, the heat flash. These are guys. They're not going through the freaking change. And one of them can't even wrestle tonight or tomorrow because they're that debilitated. So I'm just saying, I don't know what's going on, but like when your close friends are telling you like I got the shot, I'm getting binged. I'm getting so freaking angry everywhere that I go because everybody's fucking psycho.
I hear you. I got demonetized this morning on YouTube. It's been for no reason whatsoever. It's a full court press in the media war, full court on mass control. And we just went over Microsoft's plan for passes for children to be checking in every day with everything. It is a full prison planet right now. You're not going you're not going crazy. You might be going ape shit though, especially on patreon.com/Goldilocks this week, because I'm sure there's going to be plenty of raw shoots coming the way for the VIP subscribers, you guys.
Listen, Gold.
Appreciate that. Go ahead, honey. I cut you off. I'm hot tonight. I'm hot.
Well, listen. If someone gives you any slack about being too close, just tell that person, "Hey, dumbass. The whole reason of wearing a mask is to wear the mask in case we can't social distance to prevent." And that's exactly what you're doing. You're abiding by the guidelines placed in place by the government. So it doesn't matter if you're wearing a mask and you're standing 6 inches away from somebody. The mask, quote unquote, is supposed to protect us. So tell them to go fuck off. And that's it.
I wish that I could, but I'm at a freaking Christian event tonight. Yes, they hired
that's the
me.
worst.
Tell them nicely. Tell them nicely.
Just say,
nicely.
I know you'll forgive me then. Say it doesn't matter what happens.
Figured out what Stevie's virtual signing was.
Forgive me.
Well, I gotta tell you guys really quick before I leave that I've been working on a job doing something that I'm so blessed and so happy. I just can't tell you I'm over the moon grateful. But they have had the COVID police there every day on set. You have to have your temperature checked every 1 to 3 hours. I have to go to the hospital, not a regular drive-through. It has to be a hospital or authorized doctor's office. Every morning I have to go get a COVID test. I cannot eat next to my coworkers. I cannot converse close to them. I cannot console people that I am making cry. And when I asked the doctor at the last clinic that I went through, I did the tally, and he makes an extra $7,000 each day just because of the COVID test that he does for all the minivans coming through with the family. And the other thing that I asked was one of the women that came that has, there's a COVID police and there's a COVID cleaning crew that has to come wipe everything down before we can start. And then once we wrap for the night, they have to clean everything. And these people are making $700 in the morning to wipe their dick on whatever, and then another $700 at night to shit on it again. So you're making an extra $1,400 a day on top of the cleaning fee. Do the math. This is a racket. Nobody wants it to go away because they're getting paid. People are getting paid a lot of money for all this new shit.
It's all the work and all the hustle. I hope that the new project is worth it, and we can't wait to hear more about it. Take a breath, get some some real fresh air in you, and get back and do your hustle, because you are an executive producer, a true boss, and I'm glad to be working with you. Let's hook up and hear more about it soon. Okay.
You guys have a blessed night. Bye.
Later.
For checking in. Later. Goldilocks, you guys, to wrap it up here on the Conspiracy Horsemen. The only news better than that would be the return of the Horror Junkyard on Twitch. Sally, what else is going on with you, man?
We are just doing our restructuring. We're still doing it. We got some stuff going on. I've sent pictures to Stevie, getting some stuff done. So it's working on that. And as soon as we can put something together that's entertaining and we can be out there.
And then it's Sour Patch Kid buckets all day.
Buckets of Sour Patch Kids for fucking days.
Anything I missed, Steve Areno? You're going to be available for the Ultra Kayfabe Declassified Friday Locker Room Thursday Morning Spectacular for free here on YouTube, where all information is free and all free thought is welcome.
Yeah, I think I'll be able to catch a third win talking about wrestling, because it's so important after everything we talked about for the past 2 hours. I mean, wrestling is like, man, let's send our prayers to that.
Yeah.
Wrestling needs us.
See if we can't surn us out as we burn the candle at both ends, infidels. It's another big night of harsh truth in the reality, or the surreality that we're living in. But hopefully next week we can escape with the real thugs, the Thuggish Ruggish Crazy Bone Thugs and Harmony joins us March 31st. Shout out El Plaza, and shout out everybody here at HMG subscribing and helping us fight this fight. It's the Conspiracy Horsemen, infidels, Greek God Papadon, Big Salah, Big Stevie Cool, and Humbled Hameen here on the Conspiracy Horsemen. Yalla!